Greetings, denizens of YouTube. Today, I will bring you my personal review on Frank Miller's Sin City. Now, despite me previously saying that this is a review on Sin City, it's actually a review on the first Sin City story, which is the Hard Goodbye. It may not have the subtitle here, but believe me, this is the Hard Goodbye. Now, I believe this gets the special title of being self-titled because being self-titled Sin City because this is the first story of the whole anthology series. Yes, Sin City is an anthology series, but you can essentially read it whatever way you want. Like if you want to do it the same way as the film, then you could just start with a bit of Dad Yellow Bastard like the first few parts, then read the Hold Goodbye in this one, then after that read the Big Fat Kill, and then finish Dad Yellow Bastard. If you want to do that, then all the power to you. But this is mainly a review on the Hold Goodbye. Now, speaking of the film, that's probably what most of y'all's exposure to the 2005 Robert Rodriguez film. But I do recommend watch the film if you can. I don't know if Blu-ray is out yet, but if you want to, maybe if you want to buy the DVD or if you want to buy anything else, then have all the power to you. I may or may not link that over in the description. Now before we start to talk about the story, this is written by Frank Miller, which it's what some of y'all most comic fans know him as the writer for one of, if not the best Daredevil stories, which is named as Daredevil Born Again, which I haven't read myself, but I've heard it's a pretty good story, and I may look at some sites to read it, but who knows? Who knows? I will prefer if I expose myself to that story physically than digitally. It's much better than that. You know. Now, another thing is that Frank Miller is not just the writer for comics; he is also the artist for comics. Which his style has changed a bit. Some of y'all may think it's degraded. Some of y'all think it's still pretty good. Which beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So if you think if you're influenced by Frank Miller's art style, then have all the power to you. Yeah, but this is because he likes to put these little details of just that just seem like a bit it would seem pretty hard to draw yourself because this sometimes he would just leave big just these big old white things that just essentially let the story itself just not the story itself, just drawings themselves just speak for the story. It basically allowed the story to just be spoken to art itself. And the best way I could describe this that essentially it's imagine a Rorschach test, but it's done to in a way to recollect the story of a criminal, of infamous criminal, Bonnie or Clyde, Billy the Kid, or Al Capone or something like that. Essentially it's sort of like a Rorschach test retelling the story of a famous criminal. And the reason I say criminal is because Marv, he is the main character, Marv. He is actually a bit violent. He actually has a parole officer. He has to go. He actually has a parole officer, and he is a repeat offender of mainly violence. He doesn't fight women or anything. He sticks himself to just ball fights or anything that involves the law or anything against just say he will fight a fellow man, just not a woman. And onto the story itself. He actually it starts off with actually him falling in love with a hooker, which just probably the best way I could show her, which is whose name is Goldie. Now we don't actually know if Goldie is her actual name, but but like everyone in the story calls her that. So that's what everybody, including this, what I will call her as. Now Goldie is actually dead after a night of passion, and he is framed for like the murder, well, not of course, but the actual murder of like Goldie. But the thing is that if you see the film, the killer itself, like he actually like comes in and like attacks Goldie and kills her. But here we don't see like the killer going inside. We'll reveal soon. And so essentially, all of escapes the cops now. Spoilers, by the way. But this will get into some interesting territory. But he goes to like he escapes. He goes to his or breaks into his parole officer's apartment, and essentially who's a woman, by the way. But to take a little break, yeah, it has some parts that did not age as well. Like the thing is that Marv is like parole officer. She is an actual lesbian. She likes other women, but the dialogues, well, not the actual dialogue, but like sort of like the little like boxes here, like these little boxes here, yeah. It essentially makes up Marv's thoughts, and as you saw there, he says like the slur for all lesbians. He actually says, well, thinks it twice, like when he's with her, but which is, yeah, it did not age well. So a trigger warning if you're thinking about reading it, because it may jump scare. Like if you want to have like a blind exposure, then like all the power to you. But like, yeah, I had to like say all that because it's it has not aged as well as other comics have from the 90s, which it may not has been as bad from like as like 70s or 60s, but yeah, it's the treatment of like most LGBT people like was still wasn't best, but with to play devil's advocate, he does in a bar he likes to go to, a little underground bar. There, like the owner is supposedly like a trans person. I don't know which one she is oh yeah, a trans lady, but well, a trans lady, I believe. But Katie's yeah, and he calls like them a sweet old transsexual, but a sweet old transsexual. So there is that, and he doesn't fully say it, but still, it has not aged as well. So a bit of a trigger warning. I don't know if like anything like that happened in the other books, but I do know like in the Big Fat Kill, there is essentially he does that. Like the main character does like hit a woman. I forgot his name. I believe. I'm sorry, but like but yeah, there are some parts that hasn't aged as well, but it is like meant to like show like the like anti-heroes, like a really anti-hero. Like they're not meant to be like sunshine, like guys like in a like just so like just flipping off against all evil. Like they are evil. It's like evil versus evil, fighting fire with fire. Like it's a bit of a trigger. It's a bit of a trigger warning, just for anyone who wants to read it. Like it. I mean, some people may describe it as disturbing, but if you strip it all down, it's still essentially a regular noir story. A guy trying to fight crime, a guy trying to find out why this crime is happening, and then them going into a rabbit hole that leads to some answers. Like there are some disturbing parts, but yeah, that's essentially how it all stripped down. But yeah, I will not mention all disturbing parts, but there is some like intense stuff that can happen. Now, like after like going to the ball, like he essentially is assaulted by two hitmen who tried to kill him, but tried to kill him. And after he fights back and kills both of them, he actually gets the name of Rourke, who is who you may not know is the main bad guy. And after that, he goes further to henchmen. Like there's some padres. He goes through all that, and then he gets to a farm, like which was set by the father or the priest there. And over there, we actually meet the actual killer of the story, whose name is Kevin, which is actually him. Which which is also pretty interesting, nice subversive expectations. Like like if you I'm pretty sure at most point, like you will probably be thinking like the serial killer is like some masked like Jason Voorhees like ugly dude, but no, he looks like a regular guy. And another interesting thing is that if you see here by like some of the shadows here, he actually like fights using his claws instead of like any weapon. Like he does use his a sledgehammer against the moth, but like he mostly likes to like use his claw like his nails as a weapon. And the reason Kevin is the reason Kevin is like mainly like connected to this Rock character is because spoilers right ahead, but like both Rock is a powerful dude who is a priest. Like we also have also if you may know like in like that yellow bastard, like Rock is also the name of the last name of like the father of the main villain, who by the way they're not related. Like the Rock in this story is Father Rock or Pope Rock, I believe. He he is a pope, while the one in that yellow bastard is I believe the mayor. I believe a mayor. He's like some sort of politician, but yeah, they are. But yeah, this Storks is the uncle of that yellow bastard. Yeah. So for some of y'all, no, yeah, this yeah, yeah, and the reason he has this much power is because they were like big business guys like back in like the western eras of Sin City, which honestly would be pretty interesting to see like if like Frank Miller returns to the series, like seeing like the whole prequel stuff of like what happened to Sin City to be like this, back in the whole western era. Yeah. Now after that, like Marv, he gets kidnapped by the killer and he finds his parole officer there with him, and after that and it is revealed that the killer, he doesn't just kill like certain like women or hookers or anything. Like they he actually eats them. And Rourke, like the guy I mentioned before, he joins in and eats those ladies too. And the reason Goldie was so infatuated with like talking to Marv himself was because he was the biggest guy and like wanted to protect him. Well, that was like the interpretation of like Marv and her sisters, twin sisters, by the way. She has a twin sister. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but yeah, that's essentially that's the reason that we don't really know her true motives, but that's the best we have, considering the Goldie herself is dead now. Goldie, she has a twin sister, as I mentioned before, and her name is Wendy, which also thinks Malva killed her, but no, it was actually Kevin. Which it's also pretty interesting how it's almost never explained like how exactly Kevin killed Goldie, because he has these soft claws which he often uses in fighting, but what it's if you but in the initial sight of her corpse, there are no marks on her. Like you actually have to check her pulse to see if she's actually dead. Yeah, which is pretty interesting, right? It really leaves up to interpretation what Kevin did to kill Goldie. Kill Goldie. Now, like after all that, like Wolf gets kidnapped by the little the main like the little hooker street of like Sin City. Well, it's Sin City, and gets kidnapped and essentially like teams up with Wendy, as I've said before, Goldie's twin sister, and just essentially they try to they had a plan to try and kill Kevin, which essentially involves all these tools and a lot of planning. And after all that, bada bing bada boom, he actually ends up killing Kevin. After what some of y'all may seen, he essentially chained uses the handcuffs him to Kevin. Marv handcuffs himself to Kevin, and then so they won't so he won't speed off, and then he essentially spoilers, but yeah, this Sin City after gets its place in Disturbing Comics, but Kevin, he essentially gets all his limbs chopped off. I believe I can't show that on YouTube, but look it up for yourself if you want to, or see the movie if you want to. Read the comic, look it up yourself, or just see the movie. If you want to see that beautiful visual. And after that, Kevin doesn't have any reaction. Not even when a wolf comes in and starts eating him. He as stated before, even when he even when Mouth Sarge saw his own head off, he only the words he only says he never screams. And what's interesting is that apparently Kevin could talk. He only talked to the to to Rourke, to Rourke himself. He only talked to Rourke, as we see here. Some of you, which you may see, that tiny little bald man. Yeah, that is supposed to be Rourke, and he has his own compound and everything. But after that, and well, once there, like Miles just like breaks in, and as you see here, like shows him the head of Kevin, and then just straight up kills him, which we see, which as you see here, and these like pretty interesting. I know, yeah, if you could see here, basically makes him look like a zombie or some sorts. Well, and he almost is like one. Well, basically like his own personal guard just and the police just breaks in, shoots him all in the face like this. Which, mind you, he is not wearing any. He's only wearing a tank top with under that jacket, no bulletproof vest. He did not buy one. And after that, he survives that. He literally says here that they sort of shot me in the head and enough times to make sure. So yeah, I guess you could say there's like some supernatural superhero stuff happening, but still, like as you can see here from mom's like little like position in the wheelchair, it may have been just some good genetics and some a few tussles to toughen him up. And as you saw there, and he essentially is fully blamed. He's forced to sign a confession and is blamed for all the murders of Kevin and Goldie and all the murders Kevin did and plus Goldie. And unfortunately, this is the end of Marv's story. Well, he gets electrocuted, but what some of y'all may know is that in the movie the last it zooms into his pupil and then it shows him and Goldie in a hot seat bed together, like for essentially for eternity. Which some of y'all may like it. And what also cool is that this also includes some like extra odd stuff. Which an interesting thing I've noticed is that we see here Maul fighting a nun with claws, which it makes me wonder if this was originally meant to be what Kevin was like, a nun with like claws, claws, which could tie into more religious aspects than just Kevin being like a troubled serial killer that Rock pseudo fell in love with, I guess. But yeah, that's also, but that's just up for interpretation. Maybe a scrapped character or something, but who knows? Yeah, but yeah, that's essentially my personal review. I like it. It's even with granted, like there was some dialogue I said before. It's pretty poorly, but like maybe try not. I mean, well, actually, like if you don't want to read it because of that, all the power to you. Like it's your money, it's your choice. Like I don't know, like if any dialogue like that happens in the other books, like because this is like the first book in the series. There are 7 volumes essentially, and like you can like find them anywhere. Like like the I believe all the rest of the series is supposed to be $25 as stated here, like as the not sponsor. But yeah, there are these special collectors versions who which I will show you right now. I'll show you right now is all pretty interesting. Right? And the thing is that together they actually spelled the name of the comic itself, which is that's pretty interesting now. And to essentially like fully wrap up, yeah, it's a pretty cool. I recommend this comic, like even if like some parts having AIDS as well. Like it's mostly just the dialogue that hasn't aged well, but like the accent and other stuff like it's pretty good. It's still pretty good, still pretty good, and that would be all I'll have to say. It's a pretty good comic. Pretty good comic. It may be a bit intense for some people, so if you may not like some of the stuff I described, then I recommend you don't read that one. Maybe read some of Frank Miller's. Well, I don't think Frank Miller may actually be like the best one for because one of his like comics can be a bit intense. But yeah, his writing can be a bit intense. But that would be all. It's pretty good. Maybe may not be for you because may not be for you because there are some parts that may be a bit intense. Like I said, Kevin's death and some of the dialogue. But and Frank Miller's on maybe a turn off for some people, and it's also all in black and white. Which if you want to get into black and white comics, here it is. There's also this one. There's this one, and there's this other one I've read in like my high school. Well, it was essentially the Harlem Hell fight, like a sort of like a biography thing of like the Harlem Hell fighters, like a little like graphic novel thing. It's just also another one if you want to maybe if you like history or want to like get into black and white comics. But that would be all. Like comment, subscribe. That would be it. And okay, good. Bye bye now.